You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 45, Basket Case Hosts.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that has been two men for too long. I am Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olson. I'm sorry, shocked by that intro.
And I am Raven Perez.
And we
What
are...
does that? Wait. What does that mean? Two men for too long?
We've only been two people on the podcast for like 3 months.
Oh, all right. It's that simple.
It is that simple.
It's that easy.
Because first it was me and Nick, and then it was Nick and Raven, and then it was me and Raven again.
Gotcha.
that
I
how
thought
it
there
went?
was some kind of wink, absolutely to that or something.
No,
Right.
absolute no colloquialisms involved.
Globalism.
All right, let's go on then.
I love it.
All right, we are back again for another episode. We have lined up, of course. We got some news, and we got some interesting conversations, and we got 2 issues of Eric Larson goodness in Savage Dragon 210 and Spawn 258.
259, my friend, right?
259. Oh, Raven, you wrote it down wrong. You're making me look like a fool on the internet.
You know, that was a test and you failed.
I did fail that test. No one to blame but you.
I know, and it's even trickier because you notice that when I do the recap, it does correctly jump to Spawn 260 solicitation. Total trap.
It's a trap.
Thank you.
Hey, speaking of that, who saw that movie?
What movie? I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you guys?
I just heard a
We're not
groan
gonna-
from
we're
Raven.
not
That
gonna
means
talk
he
about-
loved it.
We're not going to talk about spoilers, but let's just go down the line.
Wait, why can't we talk about spoilers? I mean,
Did we-
think
did we
if
all-
anyone likes Star Wars, they've had to have seen it
I
by
agree.
now. And
have
if
we
you-
all seen it?
Yes.
Craig?
Yeah, twice.
Okay. Let's just go down the line. Did you like it, Raven?
Here we go. Here we go.
It was dog shit, dude. I hated it.
Oh
Craig,
my God!
did
we
you
just
like it?
lost. Wait. We just lost all of our listeners except for that one guy that writes all the crazy letters.
I'm sorry I didn't like.
So, Craig, you liked it.
It had its flaws.
Okay.
I thought it was good, but I thought it borrowed too much from episode 4, which I think that's what people liked. But I don't know.
I also liked it.
Mm-hmm. So why did you like it?
I liked it because it actually, while it did take a lot of its beats from episode 4, it did them in a new and different way. It put everything on it. It put some things you expected on its ear. My biggest problem with that movie was how the big death planet thing worked, because the science was really bad. Thanks, J.J. Abrams.
It's terrible.
Yeah, we were talking about Star Wars here.
Yeah, we should probably move on. I just wanted to get you guys' general opinion on that.
I will just.
I personally thought it was just a good return to form.
As-
It cleansed my palate of the prequels.
What's a hilarious thing is, as a FinCast related anecdote, so I'm doing my little Star Wars suck balls right on my Facebook wall, and sure enough, Eric himself showed up to be like, "Oh, it didn't really." I was like, "Now, damn it."
If Savage Dragon the movie is half as good,
What were Eric's thoughts on it?
He said that he liked it actually, and that yes, it was derivative, but that none of the acting was more out of place and bad than in any of the other movies, and that he just basically, he said, you know what, it's funny, he said a thing that everybody said that for me, I just can't give this movie a pass on. He said, it made me feel like I felt when I was watching the original movies. The prequels didn't do that. And I was
Right.
just like, to me, I think that it's going to come down the pipes years later that this movie got way too much of a pass on nostalgia's sake.
I agree.
It is
I agree
it is
with that.
riding the back of how bad the prequels were. And what's funny is I like the prequels, even though I can admit they're bad. but I think this movie's getting way.
It was a remake without really being a remake.
But that was done to get the fan base back on board.
I know, but I think
the real test is if Rogue One and Episode 8 do something different.
Yeah. I just, I mean, how many times can there be some kind of Death Star type
but
thing?
That's a trope that Star Wars does. I mean, it isn't just the movies.
If you look at it,
all of the expanded universe stuff, they have death devices coming out their ass.
If you look at it chronologically, that means now there were 3 movies with 3 Death Stars in a row. I'm just saying, like...
Well, no, Empire didn't have one.
Did it not?
No.
I thought there were 2 Death Stars in a row.
No, it went New Hope, Death Star, Empire, which its big weapon was the big Super Star Destroyer, and then Return of the Jedi had the second Death Star.
All right. It was terrible. Eric liked it, though.
Okay.
All right, let's
move
on.
Moving on.
We'll move on.
Star Wars talk over.
Sorry.
So we all saw.
We're gonna get so much hate mail now.
Yeah, we all saw.
I can brave it.
During my winter vacation, I did the one thing I've been trying to do for years but never really did. Was I finally finished reading Savage Dragon.
That's such a dirty secret. Like, you should have known everything front to back if you're gonna be a podcaster.
Worst kept secret. I don't
yeah.
know what I'm talking about ever.
4 years of a lie.
No, this has been going on since 2001.
So what did you learn?
I basically learned that Dragon is quite possibly the most incompetent buffoon in all of comics. Absolutely every single... Okay, just to clarify, I bought Archives 4, which collects 50 through 75, which was a big chunk of stuff 3, that I did not have a full knowledge of because I'd never read it. I started reading during Savage World, and I kind of filled in the blanks with the trades. And, of course, the trades stop just after Dragon dies, or a little bit after the first time. So anyway, that whole chunk there. Absolutely every single problem during that period could have been solved if Dragon had not been a complete dick to Sergeant Marvel. Period.
Those are my favorite issues, though.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is reading it all in one go like that.
Mm-hmm.
The writing is actually... Eric's style of writing has not changed from that period to now. He's very much... You very much get the information dumps.
Mm-hmm.
The talking head information dumps, like every other issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens constantly, which is... In reading in that big a chunk, it's almost distracting.
I've never noticed that. I don't know. I think his writing in that period was... it seems more witty in a way in certain things. Like, he's making fun of kind of the superhero trope, but still kind of having fun with it more than ever in that period.
That's true.
Like, I like Dragon as he's kind of like the antagonist of being like the one guy that kind of knows this is all kind of silly and just is like effing with all the other superheroes that are taking everything way too seriously.
Right, yeah. And I get that, but at the same time, in the end, Dark Lord is basically right in that Dragon is incompetent because of that.
Mm.
I don't know. I joke about it that Dragon's like the worst superhero ever because of all the times he's destroyed the world by accident as a result of either his buffoonery or his ignorance or his whatever. And that him being depowered and put in a cell is probably the safest thing for everybody.
So would you call him like the Darth Vader of Savage Dragon?
No, he's more like what's a good example of like someone who just muddles through and then everything blows up behind him?
Magoo.
And then he comes out. Oh, he's like Ash from Evil Dead.
Oh,
yeah.
I can see that.
He just.
I was thinking Mr. Magoo.
I said Magoo too.
Did you? Is that what you said? I thought you said that.
I said Magoo.
Yeah, Magoo. I think that was subliminal in my head, and then I thought I had an original idea, but it was really just you.
I just thought.
God damn it!
I gotta wonder when he had made the decision to do the Savage World stuff, because at a certain point, things seemed like they were speeding up. Like he wanted to like cram all this stuff in really rapidly. The turnaround between Anne getting killed and Dart getting the Mighty Man powers is like super quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Savage World happened. So it's almost like he did these things knowing that he was going to bring these characters back in some capacity very soon.
I'm sure he did. I know, like, a lot behind the Savage World where he said was he wanted comics that his kids could read at the time. They were like younger.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of just he got the itch to do the Commandy kind of Kirby kick thing. And
right.
Also,
and it was what's that?
Or also too, like the simplification where he said, like, Dragon was barely getting screen time in his own book because of the large supporting cast.
Yeah, and I think I like that the most, honestly, of that period.
This large supporting cast.
The large supporting cast.
I'm with you. I enjoy that.
I think that is something that's really lacking right now. Mm-hmm. Is that Malcolm does not have a supporting cast as strong as Dragon did. He's got Angel and Maxine, and everybody else, it really feels like they just come and go without any real rhyme or reason.
I disagree lately. I feel like with the new direction with Malcolm that he is gutting that cast, and it's getting more like the old way, because you had Tierra, of course, is not around anymore. Frank Jr.
Right, Frank. Yeah, I guess he's kind of a regular now.
Pee-wee Thunderhead.
Yeah, but even they aren't.
Thunderhead.
They aren't used enough. Thunderhead's been missing for like
Angel.
6 issues.
He was just in the wedding.
Right. But before that, it's been like 6 issues since he was like relevant.
Yeah, I guess, but you can't have. I mean, I think the period you're thinking about is more like the teen period when you had like everybody on there. But I think he cycles through them back and forth a good amount. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he's kind of getting back to that where he's getting that full kind of cast. It's just kind of sharing the spotlight.
I don't know. He said something back at the start of Malcolm taking over, is that he had plans to like build up like a teenage superhero type community around Chicago, and it hasn't quite materialized yet, and it's just been kind of one of those things I've been disappointed in that it's not really come about yet.
Yeah.
I hope the cop arc kind of begins to do that.
Yeah, right. I think with the wedding issue too, you got to see like the Johnson twins are kind of getting older, and you're starting to see these guys are starting to get
but
old enough to be heroes.
They're not doing anything yet.
Right.
It's nice to see them because I do like them, and I gotta say the ugly Johnson twin has actually got quite handsome from his first appearance.
Jeez.
It used to be like one of the uglies.
Really bad. Yeah, he was like pucker face, whatever his name is, levels of ugly.
Right.
So anyway, on top of that, I also finally got my hands on Giant Size Kung Fu Bible stories.
Oh, yeah.
And just to be brief about it, Jack Champion was an excellent story that I really wish was an ongoing series.
It was the weirdest thing is, you remember, I think he said he had more ideas for that.
Well, it's very clear as an origin story of sorts, and it feels like it needs more.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, dude, I would love to see more of that big weird house full of all these portals. Like that could go anywhere.
For about 8 years, we thought it was a Scooby-Doo.
It almost kind of is, honestly.
He had that spread in that book. He like posted like 8 years before it actually came out. Honest to God, it was seriously like 8 years of speculation of what the damn story was.
I also sort of got the impression that these kids actually end up being the villains in the end. That it's all a misunderstanding.
Matt, who knows? I mean,
yeah, who knows?
I don't think we'll ever know. I mean, when is Ant coming out?
We got to wait for that stupid Marco Gully issue to come out. I mean, I don't mean to insult it. It could be great, but I'm just saying.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that finally came out. That I mean, it's not really like news or anything. It's just sort of like just something. I don't know if he's waiting for it, but it is a thing that's going to happen, and I'm sure he probably would like that to hit before he does his issue or whatever he plans on doing.
What am I missing here?
What's Marco?
It's supposed to be a concluding issue of Ant from the creator.
I thought that was kind of dropped. I thought he was going to do it, and then he was like, "Oh, forget it." Like they had a falling out.
I mean, kind of it was, and then it kind of like bubbled back up, like and I was surprised. I was like, "What?" And then like there it was. So it's like I saw the other day where it was like, "Oh yeah, that's still happening." So. Hey, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah. And just real quick, where I want was it Jack Champion?
Yeah.
To come back. I also want Frankenstein of Mars to come back.
Oh yeah.
Because that was another really good pilot episode of something that really should be an ongoing. And Andy Kuhn is like one of my favorite creators, and the fact that Fire Breather isn't like the biggest thing since sliced bread has always pissed me off.
Yeah, they even had a Cartoon Network movie.
It fucking did. You're not wrong. What the fuck happened?
People slept on it, dude. Invincible blew up, and Fire Breather didn't for some reason.
Yep.
Well, you gotta keep pumping them out too.
Honestly, that's what it comes down to. Is when you start slipping, that's when you lose your momentum. And
exactly.
Robert Kirkman had the advantage of having workhorses like, well, even
no. Kirkman and all. If you look at all his ongoing, or not his but if you look at Walking Dead and Invincible, as soon as his artists started to slow down, they were replaced.
Replaced him, boom, and then you get the workhorses like Otley. I mean, he replaced Otley with Waya, and he replaced.
He replaced Walker.
Walker with
Otley.
With Otley, and then he replaced Moore
Adler
with Adler,
replaced Moore.
Who's fucking his output's like insane.
Did everyone just disconnect?
No.
We're all still there. I think I started talking over myself.
I said Adler replaced Moore, and it went dead silent.
Because you were right.
I think I was just trying to think about it.
Next time I'll go,
But yeah, you're right. It all comes to, and that's sort of how Saga's success is that Fiona Staples pumps them out, and they take plan breaks to make room for it. And if it comes out on time, it becomes a phenomenon. And if it doesn't, you're fucked.
Right.
Rip Mudman, rip Jack Staff for the same reasons.
Mudman was great too.
Right.
Anyway, we've spent 30 minutes on this crap. I just wanted to say that this was a good book, and I'm glad I bought it.
I think it's worth it's a celebration. You completed your run. That's awesome. It is funny that that's your view of it now. I will just add to that for me, even though Dragon's he is a bungler, I always think that like he does still more good than bad.
Yeah, that's how. And I'm still not sure if Dark Lord is a good guy or not to this day.
Well, he kills people, so he's bad.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I put it this way. I guess I don't know if his methods are for the good of mankind or not.
Yeah, I guess that is sort of a question mark. I've always assumed that deep down he's trying to do good, but he's just really bad at it.
Guys,
because
he's just a dick.
He's another character I want to see back on a regular basis because his story isn't finished, especially since young teen Dark Lord is still out there. Of course, with all these dragon babies being stolen, because since it's fresh in my mind, lest we forget that Dark Lord had a thing about collecting babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was like the Krampus.
Collecting lots of yeah, right.
Space Krampus.
Space Krampus.
We're fresh off Christmas. I figured I could make that reference.
It's like when you have the shits in space. You got the Space Krampus.
All right, so going straight into Eric Larson news.
Oh, yeah. We got some dicey bits for you guys. Savage Dragon number 211. It is a reworking of the material previously found in the Free Comic Book Day issue. Many of the pages had to be rewritten due to changes in the story that occurred since Free Comic Book Day. A.K.A. Tierra getting a belly exploded by Malcolm's love child.
Was she in? She wasn't even in that book. That should be irrelevant.
I figured like she got name dropped and now she's dead.
Did she? I don't know. It's been a while.
Gotta think. Shit's happened.
I thought it primarily had to deal with how ready to pop. Damn it.
Maxine
is.
He read all those issues and now he's like complete like Savage Dragon overload.
So wait, I like how Raven, you're just kind of bullshitting and saying like what the pages were rewritten for changes. Like you don't know that's what they were rewritten for, right? You're just kind of
I'm totally just making it up.
I think it mostly has to do with the timing of when he becomes a cop.
But I do believe that he did say that things have happened that change the context.
Yeah, you're probably right. Though.
I didn't flip through it, but I did see where he said that events have occurred that now. Like, I think Frank Jr., like, Jim, your beloved information dumps.
Yes.
I think some of the information dumps aren't relevant anymore. Like,
that may be true.
There'd be no reason for, like, Frank to be in the precinct talking about things that no longer matter. 6 pages have been completely redone. Like, they're brand new for the story, so.
As in replaced, or is it a 26-issue book, or is it?
I'm guessing replaced. So
You think so?
if Fountainhead becomes lasers instead of water, I'm gonna.
Well, I've had a
You
part.
guys won't know the difference.
I'm gonna I was gonna feel so vindicated, but you just totally brought it down to earth.
We'll have an entire page of info dumped explaining to us that it's water, not lasers.
Or wouldn't it be funny if the dialogue was a lot more ham-fisted? Like Fountainhead was like, "I'll get you, Malcolm, with my face water powers."
Yes.
Like very clear, so like we couldn't mess it up.
Right now, the readers and the listeners have no idea what the hell we're talking about. It's okay.
His new name could be Water Fountainhead.
Just gonna spell it out for you.
Yeah, just to make it easy, for morons. Moving right along though, that's all.
What do you guys think about that? Like,
what?
Or just taking the free comic book day issue and kind of just reworking it? And
well, he's already done it once, so it's not exactly.
I like it. I'm still kind of bummed out. It's like,
he released. He released a sale copy of the first Savage Dragon Free Comic Book Day with the introduction of Daredevil way back.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that too.
You're bummed about that too?
I don't know. It's like I got it for free, and I got to pay for it.
Well, we'll just have to fill the time with talking about something else.
I didn't get my
That's
print copy, so for me, it's awesome.
The issue of Spawn better be awesome that month. Let me tell you.
I think it's cool. You get letters, you get the backup comics, and you're also getting 6 new pages plus some tweaked dialogue. So I mean, it's pretty new. It sounds like it's a lot more new than the last Free Comic Book Day issue,
which would have been the same amount because it came out pretty much concurrently.
Bingo. Yeah.
Right.
So
this one has like what is it now? It's almost May, isn't it? It's been a year.
Yeah, actually. So, yeah, I'm down with it. I mean, am I thrilled? No. But like you said, Craig, I mean, shit, we got Spawn.
Should re-release it for Free Comic Book Day again.
People be so confused.
All right, what's our next topic?
We got Savage Dragon Archives Volume 6 announced for sometime in 2016. I'm presuming this one reprints 125 to 250.
It's got Daredevil and Dragon.
125 to 250.
I may have missed a few numbers there. 125 to 225 to 125. 150. God damn it. Basically 25 issues is what I'm trying to say.
This is good podcasting. This is why we get the big bucks, people.
That's why we get the no bucks.
It's going to collect a lot of pages.
Yes.
Everyone's eardrums are blown out now.
During that period, that was Glum Takes Over the World wanted crossover period.
No, a Daredevil and Dragon are on the cover.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's when Daredevil was introduced. That would have been around when that's the Solar Man arc period.
Yeah.
Which I think involves Image United. That's right. All the Image characters are in that one.
That was good period. You had all those.
That was a weird period for me. I think I almost dropped the book at some time in there.
Really?
Yeah, it came very close. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was some of the Solar Man stuff.
You can reread it and find out why you were disgusted.
Oh, I think we should truck along.
So we got FINTERESTING. Oh, Craig, you should lead us into this.
Sure, steal my thunder. So we're gonna do the FINTERESTING conversation segment, where you, the listener, is asked to write in with whatever questions you'd like us hosts to discuss. Plus, you can also send us some fan mail, and you contact us at savagefincast@gmail.com. Each episode will pick one listener's letter to be read. I guess we'll read more than one if we want, but one to pick as the winner, and you'd receive a one-of-the-kind FINcast t-shirt for 2016, designed by our pal Raven here.
I've been known to do some shirts.
Your last shirt design was freaking incredible.
Well, thank you, sir.
And we only gave 7 of those out last year, and that's all that will ever be given out because that design has been retired. So We'll be doing the same again this year. I don't think you've designed it yet, Raven, right?
It's not designed yet. I'll share the design on dragonfan.net, and
Have you already settled on a design? Because I've got an idea.
I'm open to whatever.
Shh.
I won't blurt it out though.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I want someone to like the idea and then be disappointed when you pass on it.
He's already figuring you're gonna pass on it. All right, so we're gonna do that again this year. So again, it'll be a limited T-shirt that you'll win if we pick your letter. So for this episode, Matt Hickman wrote in with a FINTERESTING conversation topic, and I'm paraphrasing here, but his question was basically, how do you make a Savage Dragon cartoon that does not suck? What do you guys think?
I've got two answers.
Go ahead.
One, you do it Adult Swim style in 11-minute chunks.
Ooh. Weird.
And you play it, for the weirdness factor and the comedy factor, and you try to keep the storylines a little bit close to the comics and the style close to the comics, but you don't really you don't go full out trying to like cram the comics in there, but you just take the general idea of it. You got this he doesn't even need to be a super cop anymore, but you got the superhero who basically busts heads violently in a city that's out of control.
Yeah, I still like the super cop idea. I think that's a classic.
That does ground it a bit.
Yeah,
helps the viewership, understand it. I can see that.
I think you either got to do, and I know this is kind of played out by now, but my favorite kind of superhero cartoons are like the Bruce Timm kind of art. I like that.
Ooh.
But no one does it. That's dead now. Too.
I know.
That's because it costs too goddamn much.
I know.
Breaks my heart.
You guys did see like the original Savage Dragon cartoon, right?
I got a funny story about that.
But do you remember the intro? The intro is amazing.
Yes.
If you can even go on YouTube and look at the intro, and it's like anime style, like really well done. And it's like, damn, you watch that intro and you're like, I want more of this. And then like the actual like episode comes on and it's just poop.
Yeah, my memories of the show are so vague because I only watched it when I was a kid and I hated it, so I didn't watch it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched Wildcats more than I ever watched Savage Dragon.
Ugh.
Blasphemy.
I know, right?
Ugh.
Blasphemy.
Only because it was marginally more good.
One and only Wildcat.
But okay,
Ugh.
so the other day I decided, hey, I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to watch some Savage Dragon cartoons and see how bad it actually is. Whoever owns it's been pulling down all the videos.
Oh.
Yeah, I only got to watch like part of episode 2, I think.
Yeah.
It has Barbaric driving a truck, and Alex and Dragon in that weird Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, without the top, so that you can see his like fin because it wouldn't fit in a car.
You know what's hilarious is that I could ID a lot of the voice actors. They're like, like real regulars in voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Dragon, of course, is Jim Cummings, who's the voice of pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric supposedly hates the voice.
He hates it because apparently he sounds too much like Lucky Paquel from Bonkers.
Yeah, dude.
Because
same voice.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Cummings has voiced tons and tons and tons of characters. He did Pete the Dog from Goof Troop. He was Eeyore. He's Winnie the Pooh. He's pretty much every Disney character that's not Squeaky. Any deep voice Disney character.
Yeah.
But he's a great actor. He's a great voice actor. He's in so much. He was in Fallout 4 for God's sakes.
And his voice, like you said, when he was in Bonkers, he didn't do any different voice. It was the same voice.
It is the same voice, and I'll agree with that. But I thought the funniest part was Barbaric's voice, because I don't know that his actor's name, but he's another comedy actor who's like in everything. He's Yakko and Wacko from Animaniacs.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly certain that's the same guy.
That's not right. I did not watch the show, but actually, Craig, at your behest, I did watch that YouTube, like a YouTube clip of the intro. Mwah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the action, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
But the reason I was watching it was, have either of you ever heard of Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
I've heard of it. I've not watched it.
Yeah, basically they take Dragon Ball Z episodes and they cut them down into like their essence and then add like comedy to it.
Mm-hmm.
So like self-aware comedy. I wanted to kind of look into maybe doing that for the Savage Dragon cartoon, revoicing all the characters and like making it really, really stupid.
But it's already stupid.
I know, right? Maybe we can do the opposite. We can recut it so it's good.
Make it more serious.
I think they need to do a Savage Dragon crossover with the Cops cartoon. Remember the Cops cartoon? And the bad guy spoke like a Chicago gangster? Yeah.
COPS?
Oh, you know,
the Cops.
Bart Sears did the character designs for that show.
Oh,
Sure
really?
did.
Yeah, so
Because they certainly look like it.
I could see that. Yeah.
Well, my other idea was, Legend of Korra, Avatar: The Last Airbender. You need a freaking budget. You need, like, for a 30-minute cartoon, you would have to, like, go stupid big.
Well, what about something like an adult kind of version, like what was done with Spawn? You think that would...
That's the trouble with, like, Spawn or, like, what was that other MTV show?
Max.
The Max, and there was another one, like, Aether? No.
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux, yeah.
That stuff is... The 90s was a time of excess. There was money for experimental shit like that. And it's just, there's no place to put it anymore. And no one's going to fork out money for something like that.
Yeah, everybody wants to do like South Park, like Flash animation and shit.
Not that far, but you could totally do a Savage Dragon show that looks like fucking Steven Universe, and it'd be absolutely fucking epic. Because Steven Universe kicks ass.
That blows my...
I like when Jim gets intense and just drops F-bombs.
I love cartoons. I am the fucking cartoon.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, like, it's funny too.
Motherfucking whimsy up in here.
Isn't Steven Universe like a kids show?
Steven Universe is many things. It's a many-faceted adventure through space and time.
Wow.
Watch Steven Universe.
You're selling me on this harder than I would ever dream.
Yeah. Wow.
Do you like anime?
I do.
Do you like action?
No. I hate action.
Stay far away from Steven Universe.
Hence hatred for Star Wars.
If there's adventure, I'm done.
I'm out. Peace.
No adventure. No action.
All I'm saying is it'd be a major stretch to like kind of devolve the art style to something like that, but it could be done.
To chubby little fat kids? Isn't that what Steven Universe is?
It's like, one.
Steven is many things. Being a chubby fat kid is one of them.
So you'd have to like turn Malcolm into like a Steven with a little fin on his head.
You could do that.
I want to say
honestly, you could do like a Malcolm as a little kid having adventures with his grown-up superhero dad.
I want to say go the other way and do it anime. Get Madhouse, have it be like One Punch Man level quality.
Jesus, that would blow minds.
Yeah.
And budgets.
They've got the cast for it.
I know,
I'm
right?
saying Savage Dragon is nothing if not one set piece after.
Craig, if you watch one anime on Hulu, you watch One Punch Man.
That's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
I know you guys spent like a serious amount of time on that topic at one point.
One Punch Man is probably the best new superhero comic in like...
I thought it was a comic. I didn't know it was a cartoon, too.
Oh, it's both.
Since we talked, actually, the show just hit, and it's being super well received, like, all over.
And because anime is... manga and anime is so much better in Japan, it accurately depicts what happens in the comics. Like we actually want TV shows about comics to be, but they never give us.
That's the thing is One Punch Man's cartoon is like they will sometimes just like shot for shot. That's why I'm like Savage Dragon. You want to make a cartoon like go in like I'm taking this the other direction. I'm saying shot for shot it, baby. Give us those crazy super bloody fights against like Cutthroat and Killraiser. Like
it kind of worked for Witchblade.
Do it.
That's what I want to see. I just want to see. Do it like you did the miniseries. It's perfect. You don't have to explain why he's a cop. He just showed up. He's a cop. Now he's kicking some ass. They've never seen a fucking mutant cop like this before, and he's finally like evening the, balancing the tide or whatever.
That's it.
You want to say?
Balance that tide, damn it.
That's such a bad. That doesn't even make
You
sense.
turned the
but-
tide. You turned the tide. You balanced.
Yeah,
the
there you
scales.
go.
But you know what?
Turn the
I'm so
tide balance
stupid.
We were
scales.
with you. We were
I'm
with you.
so stupid.
It's awesome that's what I would say. Like for me, it's like I could watch a Bruce Timm Savage Dragon, but I would always be like, oh man, I just wish this was intense.
It's a little bit too
I
tame.
just wish it was savage.
Yeah, I just want to see ass kicking, and I want to see high quality visuals.
I want every frame of that blood to move.
Yeah. No, they could do it. They could totally do it. It's funny is when you say there's no budgets and stuff, you know, Japan's not a financial juggernaut, yet look at One Punch Man.
Japan doesn't pay their animators very well.
Hey,
It's
So
it's
let's
an
not
issue.
pay our animators
let's not
well.
pay. Jim, you just came up with the solution.
I just solved economics. World economics solved.
Isn't that what they did with the Dragon cartoon? Wasn't it all done in like North?
Oh, I'm sure it was
like
animated in
South Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean everything is animated in South Korea, but they're the ones who kind of get shit on because they don't get paid very well.
Right. All right. So shall we move on to the, as we like to call it, the meat
Craig,
of the?
did you say
episode.
how you would make the cartoon not suck?
I'm not sure he did.
I didn't.
Oh, that's right. He said
Bruce
Bruce
Timm.
Timm. He's
My bad.
Bruce Timm.
Now
side.
we'll get some meat and potatoes. I just want to make sure.
I also said if it was done like the intro
Right.
of the original cartoon,
Okay.
it'd be awesome.
Sorry, my bad. I was still thinking about.
getting all crazy with me.
I was
and
thinking about
shit.
Steven Universe. It was blowing my mind. I still can't think. Like,
Now we gotta watch it. It's like super. It's almost like they were paying for advertising on this podcast.
brought to you by Steven Universe.
It's not like yeah. You have if you only see one cartoon.
If you want to see a cartoon about a little fat kid and his dad and space adventures with girls.
That's pretty much Steven Universe. Yeah.
www.stevenuniverse.com.
Meat and potatoes time, my man. How about we do a little honeymoon in Hawaii with Malcolm and Maxine?
I really like the cover. I really like the gag in the cover. I think word balloons are a underutilized cover accoutrement.
I do think it's funny. It looks like Eric like hand wrote those letters. Like I don't think that Chris used his letters on there.
Oh,
If you look at
I
it.
didn't notice that. You're right.
He's right though. They are good. Because I love when Eric Larson letters.
You know, this is such a nerdy thing, but I'm sorry, I just gotta say it. Props to the colorist for like a thing I can never do is like put characters that are basically a color in front of basically that color that they are. So if you look,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The blue one in front of the blue.
yeah, the blue guy in front of the blue, the white guy in front of the sky, like the fucking green guys coming out of the jungle, and even
Oh shit, that's some color usage.
yeah, it's kind of
It's high level.
it works is what's funny, and so like props. I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on in this cover, and it's good. I like the little like rock textures and shit. I don't know. It's good. I don't know why Maxine's stomach is hidden. Isn't that funny?
It was probably because when he solicited it, he had
Yeah, it was way ahead of time.
Oh,
timeline
okay.
nice.
My bad. I was like,
As we all know, covers rarely depict contents.
but this time it totally depicted the contents.
Close
That's
enough.
exactly it.
Did you guys think that this was just going to be them fighting a bunch of like gods that had kind of ended up on the island?
No, I thought
That's
it'd be
what I
something.
thought.
I thought it would be something else. I didn't think it was God related.
That one, the god in the top left corner, the green god on the cover, he looks like a guy that's appeared before, but
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be tiki
What?
gods. I did.
yeah. I think it was issue 45 of the regular series has a guy that looks just like that. So I was like, and if you read, if you read the comicbook.com interview that was done with Eric, I think Eric at the time even didn't really know what he was going to do with the cover.
Well, if
Like he drew the cover, but didn't know how he was going to tie it in, if they were going to be gods or if, they're going to.
Well, that's what he does. Is he draws covers and then sort of writes to the cover. I mean, he's done that before. He'll do it again.
right.
I gotta say though, I dug like this opening with Angel just beating up guys with weird heads.
Yeah, I like that too.
Isn't that funny?
I think
But then I like Angel a lot.
Eric is on a huge kick of like having like these Siamese twin type villains.
I honestly wonder if that's Tantrum.
No.
Because we know from a future solicitation, Tantrum's coming
Look
back.
how different this guy is compared to that dude.
But the first Tantrum doesn't look anything like the new one on the cover, and doesn't this?
Are you sure? I thought he did.
I think he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
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 I think he does.
The first Tantrum had the baby on his chest.
Yeah, like
this new one does not.
But no,
How
you can't see.
And then this one's got a baby in his head.
No, you can't see. The thing is you can't see his chest on that cover. So I'm just saying.
But are you sure the big lummox part of it looks identical?
I think so.
Because
what's the
I thought
issue?
he looked completely different. But I'm bad memory.
Yeah.
This seems
it's
like a job for the wiki.
I hear some clicking going on.
I was gonna say, let's take a look at Tantrum. All right, Tantrum, come to me. Now, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, I hear you with the, Craig was gone, but apparently even in hell, guys just got guys sticking out of him.
Yeah, even on the Spawn issues, like he's going nuts with the whole.
It's like the Manhattan Project all over Chicago.
It's like Basket Case.
Basket Case. You know what's funny? Basket Case. I mean, this is such a tangent. I'm sorry, listeners, but the monster from Basket Case is also like basically the like leader of the mutants from Total Recall.
Wait.
Quattro.
Is Basket?
Don't they just look exactly the same?
Who's Basket Case?
Really cheesy horror movie where the kid cuts his Siamese twin off and like the grandma not a kid doesn't cut. The kid's parents
Okay,
were
I've
into
never
doctors.
seen it.
They remove the Siamese twin. The Siamese twin's just like this head with arms and like pointy teeth. Completely grotesque looking. And the grandmother goes and picks it out of the trash and takes care of it.
Oh.
And then the kid bonds with it and carries him around in a little basket. And then the kid gets older and starts making out with chicks, and the little Basket Case brother kind of gets all jealous. Of course, it just like gurgles and shit. It can't talk. I don't think.
It's like.
He's like making out with a chick, and the thing kind of like touches the chick's arm and shit.
It's hilarious.
Oh, it's so
It
horrible.
certainly
and
sounds
good.
like a low budget horror movie.
Well, and then they made sequel after sequel, and then eventually it just turns into like. It turns
Are you
into
making
like an
this up as
orphanage.
you go along?
It turns into like an orphanage for like hideous like mutants. Do you remember that, Raven, at all? Like
don't.
Basket Case 4 was just like
Oh my god.
an orphanage of all different types of weird mutants.
Craig, I think you're making this up as you go along.
I did not.
I might my imagination might be running away from me because this is like 13-year-old me thinking about all the Basket Case movies I watched and just loved.
Bros, I'll just confirm this, bringing it back to Dragon Time. This Tantrum actually on the cover of 214 looks pretty damn different from the Tantrum that debuted in 193.
See, that's what I thought. Because I thought it was a host-based thing, and that the Tantrum entity mutates whatever he gets into.
That baby, though, got, like, blasted. So, like...
That's true. Maybe the baby isn't the Tantrum entity. The baby might just be another victim.
So, it's funny, though, to think of, like, you're in Chicago, and you're just a guy, and a fucking baby appears out of your head. Pretty much have no choice but to rob a bank.
I want everyone right now, including the listeners, stop what you're doing. Do a Google search of Basket Case 3 under images. You will thank me.
Holy fuck, you're not lying. There are
will
3
thank
Basket
me.
Case movies. What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck, man? How come I've never heard of this?
There's like wife of Basket Case, and she's got like all these mutant babies surrounding her.
I gotta watch this, bro. Oh my god, that's gold. I only watched like 1 and 2. I didn't even like. Oh, dude, you've given me. I've such an evening.
I don't watch horror movies, but I watch people talk about horror movies. And I've never heard about this.
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing, dude. Oh, I'm all over it. Yeah, like Eric would love. I wonder if Eric is a Basket Case fan. Like
Eric Larson? Does he even watch horror movies?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, don't these things look just like Chicago?
I don't know. They're pretty gross.
All those Chicago freaks. And what's funny, though, is to think, like, these little deformed freaks killing people, like, they're really tiny. It's not like they shouldn't be able to do anything, and yet. Oh my god, dude. Anyway, yeah.
Sorry,
Guys with
just
weird
had to show.
heads. There's a guy with like a tarantula head.
Oh, and we're back to Savage. Sorry.
Oh no.
Yes.
It just it cracks me up.
I kind of like the purple dude she's punching. He looks kind of cool.
He's got good face paint shapes, colors.
Yeah, and again, Eric's kind of gotten away from the whole costume thing, and I think because these guys are just throwaways. But now freaks like fashion has kind of changed in Chicago, like freak fashion, like
Tank tops are still in.
yeah, but crazy costumes with giant pads and everything are definitely
Out.
I do love the 4-panel page with Angel like in action. I love like a couple of those panels, like the punch kind of the way the punches look.
Homegirl's wearing underwear these days too.
You don't even have powers, just funky looking heads. It's almost like it's commentary.
The one guy's tooth flying out of his head. It's awesome. Oh, you know what I was gonna mention that I don't like, which I find a little bit weird. What Eric does is I like speed lines, but when it's just kind of speed lines behind a character with nothing else, I find it a little jarring when he does like speed lines, but also has a background.
That building is moving really fast.
Well, the 2-page spread, like that's not that bad.
Oh, that does
2-page
actually look
spread?
really weird. It's like there's a meteor shower going on, not so much speed lines.
Right. It kind of the speed line effect seems it doesn't impact it as much to me when it's like just in the sky.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
Looking at it closely, it does seem like more of a weird like cloud pattern than speed lines.
I thought it looked cool, but I could see how you wouldn't like it.
I mean, it's not a huge thing. I just kind of I was like, speed lines don't really have the same effect when they're used that way, I don't think, but
Maybe he was experimenting. I'm not sure if it worked.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no big.
It sound like the guy's bitching about it.
Because I did
it's still
see-
an awesome spread. I got to be like, "Oh, stupid speed lines." Just shut up, Craig.
on the second panel of the 4-panel grid page
Mhm.
Yeah,
with the that I thought though that looks okay,
yeah, that looks fine to me.
but it's basically the same thing with the speed lines with the background.
Yeah,
But I think it's because there's less background.
Yeah, I guess I can totally see that.
It goes off the page as opposed to going between buildings, I
Yeah.
guess.
Like it definitely panels 1 and 3 there have a better visual than to have a like
Right.
Because they're tighter too,
Yeah.
being a panel, not a splash.
Moving right along, I have to say I feel terrible for Tierra. I feel worse for Frank Jr. because what a shitty realization.
Hey, you know what? They don't even close their eyes. Not like in the movies, you're supposed to like close their
They
eyes.
didn't clean
so
her
they
up.
just-
Look at her; she's still
Well,
got blood on her.
I don't think they do that because they were still doing an open investigation
Gotcha.
Oh.
because that blood and fibers and shit.
Oh. Yeah, but I mean, the thing in her belly
They'll
killed her.
clean you up when they're ready to put you in the ground, not so much when you're in the morgue.
So, I think issue 211, someone's gonna write in. So, what's the morgue doctor's name for the wiki?
Look at isn't he kind of an awesome
What's the name of the purple guy with the paint on and the tarantula head guy? Sorry.
Tarantula head.
spider head?
What were you saying, Raven, before I rudely cut you off?
No, I was just saying I do kind of like the way he looks. Just a little like freaky looking dude with his little head there.
Yeah.
Frank. Just saying like the guy poor guy. He knows his best friend boned his chick.
Yeah.
It's his baby mama.
Yeah. It's got baby mama drama like crazy.
But you got, on a serious note, though, man, this is like the mother of your child. Like, you wonder if there's what's gonna happen with this.
Angel told Frank about her pregnancy, yeah?
Yes,
No.
I think so.
Did she tell him it was Malcolm's?
I think she said it could be Daredevil's. She said
Okay.
she didn't know.
Because I'm wondering if Frank knows how dragon babies work.
I would imagine that with Dragon being in prison and all, that's probably come up. Like, wouldn't you think that's kind of common knowledge now?
That chosen one babies are dangerous to their mothers.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he knows it through Maxine because she's obviously pregnant with Malcolm's kid, and maybe that information came out like during wedding
She's
time.
got that weird thing on her stomach.
Yeah, that may be common knowledge as a result.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Gotcha.
At the very least, that's an explanation I can accept.
I'm gonna say if
Gotcha.
you would talk about your friend's abortion right before you're about to get married, you'd probably talk about that.
Fair enough.
Hey, remember when you got that abortion? Sick.
Oh, Jesus.
Now I'm gonna go get married. Laters.
Peace.
Peace and chicken grease. Laters.
So Eric draws jungles really well. He should do it
I
more often.
know. Isn't this jungle really good? It was just, I don't know. I mean, the book takes place I've seen destroyed ass cities, and I've seen cities. You don't see the book in too many jungly type places.
The only time I can remember kind of like this was when Dart's head got taken off.
Yeah, Dart's Island.
And the colors are the bomb here. I love all the little details and shit. They're gaudy Hawaiian shirts and shorts, though. Oh. Oh.
You're not for that. You're more of the black, dark kind of look.
I just can't imagine. You know what's funny? It's just that I know it's done for comedy's sake and they're tourists or whatever, but it just seems like something like young people would never wear. It would be like mortified to be caught dead in those outfits.
I wear outfits like that.
You're not a young person. Get
Oh.
over it.
Do you get your shirt?
I'm not that old.
Do you get your shirts at the Wanamaker?
No, I get them at stores.
I get my shirts at Woolworth.
Don't talk to me about Woolworths. I mean Woolworths. We got history.
Oh yeah,
Actually, yes.
you're killing.
Well, now we need to know.
Yeah, you're killing me.
Where
I gotta know.
My grandmother used to work at one, and I used to buy comics there all the time.
Then
Yeah.
they closed.
Then they all went out of business because the 5 and dime is a dinosaur, and Walmart killed them.
Man,
Mm.
They had the best candy counter.
this has been the most Basket Case 3 podcast ever.
Oh, bringing it back to Basket Case, too. Extra points on that one.
Callbacks.
Just
We got them.
5 and dimes, Woolworths, Basket Case. This one's got it all.
How do you know about Woolworth?
I personally don't know shit about Woolworth.
I mean, it's still around.
No, they're completely out of business.
Well, not the stores, but the name brand.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they were completely gone.
Nope. They still sell old men's hats. Look it up. I know this.
I was going to say, how do you know that? Are you an old man?
Holy sh!
I'm keeping that straight to the vest there. I can't divulge that information.
I'm making so many judgments right now. Left to my own
Yes.
devices.
So it's here they're
I'm
defunct in
actually
July
67
1997.
years old. You guys have never met me. You don't know.
Just he's one of those old guys with a young voice,
Thanks for saying so.
like Don Pardo or something like that.
I have no idea who that is.
Google it.
Is it like French? Does it Perdot?
Now I'm gonna leave that to I'm gonna leave it to your own devices. You two.
Oh, we're all playing games here.
I will say that when they're going over the names, I pray to God that this baby is named Ebenezer Adolf Dragon.
Jesus.
That doesn't sound like a very good name for any reason.
And they should change the title of the book. Like, you know where it says Savage? It should say Ebenezer Adolf Dragon. That would get the readers like crazy.
If Eric wouldn't change the title to Malcolm Dragon for me, or Savage Dragons, then he's not going to do that. Man, I really wanted to change the Savage Dragons and co-star Angel as a full character. That would have been the best.
Sorry, I just found out who Don Pardo is.
Don't you think he is so much younger voice than his face? He's geriatric. He should.
He's dead.
Is he dead?
Yes.
Well, then I'm righter than ever.
He sounds so much younger than dead.
Anything sounds younger than dead, right?
Sorry. We're getting off topic here.
It's okay.
I never thought I'd talk about Don Pardo.
On the
I didn't even know who he was. I didn't know I'd learn about who he was until the FINcast.
You didn't think that his...
And that's why I'm thankful for the FINcast.
You didn't think his youthful pipes, his deceptively youthful pipes would fit into this honeymoon issue.
Yes.
This is a weird one, guys. This is a weird one.
All right, so where were we?
Rock monsters.
Jim, you sound so happy about this.
I am the thrillist.
I love them. I love the way they look. I wish there'd been more bashing. They get a lot of bashing in.
They do. There's some pretty good bashing going on. Some choms and some thomps and some...
Yeah, the sound effect for the force field for Maxine. The bwomp.
I love the force
Isn't that
field.
good? That's good.
I wish Rex wasn't dead so that he could make it more fancy. So that, she could, do stuff with it, like Sue Storm invisible force field projection shit.
You can't imagine he's going to be the only genius in the book. And their baby is going to be weak as shit, too. I mean, are the babies super... Oh, wait, no, Malcolm was a little badass.
Malcolm was pretty tough for a skinny-armed run.
My bad. I forgot. I'm thinking of Viltrumite babies.
Yeah, they're pretty puny.
Pathetic.
Actually, we don't know what pure-blooded Viltrumite babies are like. We only know what half-human ones and half-bug people ones are.
I'm sorry, listeners.
Yeah, dude, this one has been so fucking crazy. Basket Case.
So many tangents.
Invincible.
We got them.
No, it's funny is one of these weird experiment pages where she's running and it's the exact same page as Wanda in Hell.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So all right. So for the listener, it's the same page as Spawn 259, right? They use the same exact layouts and everything.
The first page of Spawn, the opening page of.
Is it the yes exactly. So
Whereas
opening.
This is page 10.
Something like that. I mean, the reader can, if you have the issue, you can flip through it. It's the one with her running away from the tiki statues. Is the exact same layout as the first page's Spawn 250.
And the panels are framed similar, or got the same positioning of the character.
Yep,
Yeah,
everything is the same. He took the pencil page and just
put Maxine over it.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, but I like it. I did, just if anybody else was curious, nerdily enough, flip through, and I couldn't find any other panel for panel recreations. So
no, I don't think there is.
Saving you time.
Right.
Don't do what Raven does, kids.
It'll make you sterile.
So I mean, this episode is all kind of. This issue is all kind of set up for this kind of. It's almost like a one trick kind of thing where we see Virago, who's long time.
Who is this wildcat?
Readers, remember her from Savage Dragon #2.
Miniseries #2 or regular series?
Regular, when she crossed over with the Ninja Turtles.
Cannot remember who this character
Ninja
is.
Turtles.
She was bringing gargoyles to life.
She has the worst hair. It makes her proportions look all fucked up.
I love her hair, but it is horrible.
Remember when we were talking about shoulder pads not being in style?
Well, this was made her costume. It was 1993.
I love that it has not changed.
I love that she's on basically a deserted island and she still feels the need to dress like this. Let me just feel comfortable by putting a million individual straps on my arm.
And the thing is, though, is it's you just got to look good for yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to be beautiful for you.
Eric doesn't like drawing her because she only appears in 2 other panels and just as an arm and a leg and a face.
Yeah, I'm not drawing that shit over again.
He said it was a pain in the ass. He's like, that costume was a pain in the ass to draw. I was like, that's hilarious. He could have redesigned her, but I guess people wouldn't have known. I gotta admit, when I flipped the page and saw her, I was like, what?
Wildcats crossover?
One and
I
only.
swear she looks like a Wildcats character.
No, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, my man. Yeah. Dude, I mean, I gotta be honest. It's not like she did that much, but it was kind of cool to see her. I was like, okay, because
I just want to know. So she gets her powers from like sucking the energy off of people. So she decided to move from New York, where there's just an infinite amount of people, to like some island somewhere where one person comes around every, I don't know, 5 years or so, or whatever it made it seem like. I don't get it.
I want to say though that like she calls it her domain. So the island is kind of like where she lives. That's how I read it. Now, I'm not going to, jump back in time and read my like Ninja Turtles Savage Dragon Virago issue or whatever. So I don't even know what the hell she was doing in New York to begin with. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming
She looks like Zealot from Wildcats to me.
she has a Wildcat. I could see the Wildcats influence, or not influence, but like, yeah, it's Wildcats-ish. You gotta wonder, when I saw her in that like crazy ass like 90s look of hers, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, is this because the 90s are kind of cool right now?
Are the 90s cool? I'm not sure if that's
The
true.
90s are super cool.
Oh, I lived them. I got questions about that statement.
I lived them too. I'm not reanimated. I'm not a cadaver. I lived them too. The 90s were.
The 90s were like the 80s, but worse. All we had were Pogs. And Skip It.
Jim, if that's all you had in the 90s,
Bop 'em boppers.
you don't even know how to 90s, bro.
Talk Boy. Home Alone.
We had grunge rock.
Yeah.
Grunge isn't as good as its name
And
suggests.
Super
I'm sorry.
Nintendo.
I hate Nirvana.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you made baby Jesus cry.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins ain't so great either.
What?
Are you serious?
Sorry.
You are a heretic, sir.
Well, at least I still got Helmet.
I did like the ska music though. I appreciate that.
Alice in Chains.
So just to be clear, you like No Doubt and stuff.
No, more Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Squirrel Nut Zippers.
Good
Ooh.
Goldfinger. Less Than Jake.
Wait, you hate Nirvana, but you like Less Than Jake? That's crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're a crazy person. My mind is blown. This is a FINcast where we've been ripped asunder. Divided.
This is a FINcast that we've talked about everything else but the issue.
Do you feel there is a reason why we talked about everything else but the issue?
I don't know. I like this issue. It's good. I like it more than last issue.
What?
I saw some talk on the forums of what did you think of this issue overall? So it's a one and done, obviously, before Malcolm joins the force. Let's just go ahead and just end this bad boy and say
All right. I was not a fan.
Not a fan. Okay.
No.
I liked it.
What would you have done differently? Or what would you have liked to have seen? Not done differently, that's shitty. What would you have rather happened than this issue?
I don't think I needed any kind of honeymoon issue with them fighting tiki monsters. It just, I would rather more character development with the existing cast and more Chicago. I don't know. I didn't need to see Virago. It just did nothing for me. The villains did nothing. They don't add anything to the overall story. It is a one and done. I guess, it gives Eric some time to recharge his batteries and maybe just get this out of his system. I don't know. I don't get it, but
Jim, why'd it work for you?
I thought just having Malcolm and Maxine have an adventure was like the perfect kind of honeymoon story.
lies, all lies.
Without having the expanded cast bogging things down, or having a villain that has like some sort of tie to a bigger arc. It just felt like an adventure.
Raven?
I will bring it right down the middle. I actually did like to just see the focus on purely Malcolm and Maxine. I was super like not like jazzed, but I was like, huh, all right. Dug the Virago twist because otherwise it would have just been tiki monsters. So it was kind of a cool, weird thing. However,
It'll make Gavin Higginbotham happy.
I was left.
Although she's not dead.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Is like her not dying. Like for me, if you're gonna bring her back, like if Malcolm had like like lightning powered her fucking head off or something, like you're bringing this weirdo back from like issue 2 to issue 210. So 208 issues later, you've got this character reappearing. I cannot imagine that like there's anything else to say about her. Let's just fucking kill her.
Yeah,
So I would have
nice.
that's all I would have liked to have seen is like if we're gonna have Virago in there, like I don't know, like more closure or something, because then you are left with an issue that felt not like completely like didn't need to happen, but I'm just saying more could have happened.
I knew by the cover I wasn't going to enjoy this issue very much.
What?
I just knew. Yeah.
Too goofy fun.
Well, we can't say the whole
Okay.
issue was bad.
No, I don't think the whole thing, and I don't think it was unenjoyable, but not one of my favorites.
Back up.
I was glad she wasn't confirmed dead at the end. I
Like
thought
that?
See, here's the thing. I think too often Eric brings characters back just to quote unquote tie up loose ends, and I hate that. It absolutely. Well, unfortunately I wasn't here for the issue. I could not rage about how Alternate Angel got thrown the fuck away.
Oh, you hit a sore
fucking
spot
mad.
there.
And I don't like these sorts of things when the character's only brought back to kill them off so that you don't have a dangling like whatever. I think that's too cheap and too predictable.
I think we seriously missed out on podcast gold by not having
Oh,
I would love.
Jim on that podcast episode.
Can I just say that for 2016, we, dear listeners, are going to do mini casts where we do much smaller, much more compact FINcasts that are like aside. They're not going to affect the primary numbering. And Jim, dude, I would love for you to slice off 20 minutes of your time to just rage about that. That'd be hilarious and awesome.
I'll think
Please
about
do.
it.
Let's have that be our maiden voyage. Let's hear that fan passion, man.
All
That's what
right.
it's all about.
We get, just on a side note, we get to see John Day in the final panel, and I enjoyed that.
He's the one running shirtless.
Yes.
I'll tell you what blew my balls off to Kingdom Come. This Frank Fosco backup.
Yes, this is what I want more of.
Yes. All right. You guys are going to hate me. The one thing, though, I would have liked it better without the Deadly Duo. Before you scream at me, I just think it's too cramped for them.
Yes.
I think I would have just liked to see, like, the kind of, whatever you want to call these guys, the Monster Squad.
Co-signed.
Or, just them fleshed out more without kind of the silliness of Deadly Duo.
Believe it or not.
I think these guys can be fun on their own without.
I think we all agree on that.
I think so too. I do agree that there's not enough room in 6 pages to cram 5 name characters in.
Right.
It's just not a good economy of space because of how much establishing you have to do.
I will say that Fosco pulls it off like a champ.
He does.
Given what he was, given the task at hand, this is a monumental. I mean, hell, I can't do it. Like, that's just like way too much to cram into like such a small amount of space. But yeah, I'll totally agree with you guys. If the Deadly Duo weren't here at all, and if this was just like them kicking some monster ass, I'd have been down with it.
I will say I do like the use of Fever.
Yeah, but that was what I was going to say. Go ahead. I'll let you finish your thought before
No, I was just going to say it's good to see her in action using her powers.
But I feel like we just saw that being done. Like, it was the same trick again. Like, bite
Was
the
that
bad
the last
guy, and the bad guy sees a hallucination, and then, it wraps it up.
Was that in the last one too? The last backup with them?
One of them, the one with the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
And the one thing I got to say is, all right. So they look like scary monsters, but how is that different than any of these freaks they're kind of fighting? So I don't get that in a way, unless it on top of it the poison makes you all paranoid or something. But
It's got to be a scarecrow fear gas thing.
yeah,
Because if you think about it, Batman sees terrifying monsters all the time, and like yet for some reason fear gas is like more potent than whatever. So I just imagine it's like you're having a nervous breakdown on top of your hallucination.
Right. I gotta say the art, like the coloring and just the heavy inks, like make this night scene really cool.
Yeah. This is good shit, man. This is good shit.
I kind of like having Powerhouse and Kid Avenger tussle a bit, even if it's not for much. Just because I kind of like those high power level type characters just clashing a bit. The one thing I wish we'd really gotten was a decent Mighty Man versus Powerhouse fight at some point, but we never really get that.
Right. Yeah, and I like so the art, says Frank Fosco. The cover to me, like the back cover, I'm guessing, looks like it was colored by somebody different. And it looks bright. Like if you look at the difference, like the mood sets and the way that the inks are and the coloring on the inside versus like the cover.
Lighter color palette.
Yeah, I love the inside. Like that first page on the inside is freaking awesome. So cool.
Agreed.
I love the way they all look. I like the back cover too, but I think it's just bright, like a lighter. Like the mood isn't as good as like the coloring on the inside.
Yeah, that identity crisis, that big panel of them where like you can see the Deadly Duo in the sky. It's awesome. Yeah. It's solid gold.
Yeah. Yes.
And I like that back cover too, which is what's funny.
I do like it too, but I think the coloring is.
I agree.
I think Powerhouse looks a little bit too much like a haystack and not enough like a chicken.
Oh, geez. He always looks like a haystack to me.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm okay.
I love the way Flash Mercury looks on that first page.
Oh, yeah.
How do you make a guy with like a weird dragon helmet and a needle nose look cool is beyond.
Doesn't he look badass?
Yeah.
He is badass.
Weirdest freaking costume ever.
And yet, here it is looking badass. It's weird.
Same thing with Powerhouse. Weirdest freaking head ever. It looks cool on the cover. And on the first page.
Yeah, this was good. This was stellar work. Exemplary. So, yeah, that's why I can't get mad at the whole issue.
Yeah.
Because it's like, with this backup in the equation, I still felt just as entertained. So, it's good. I'm down with it.
Who would have ever thought that these three characters would be like a team? Who ever thought Flash Mercury would be like a character that was taken serious in this book, not just a one-off joke?
Like you said, this equation, like these three guys, like I am so thrilled that there's more of this. Like you have no idea.
This is the kind of thing I always wanted, is like a little like tiny like villain group buddy road adventure type thing. I always thought it'd be like Neutron Bob and Mako and Loblo.
Yeah.
But these three I'll take too.
That would have been good too. Yeah, I dug this, man. I dug this. Let's get more of this, and let's the Deadly Duo don't have to be there. It's okay. Let's have some monsters, just some monsters getting their asses kicked. Because it's funny because they take Wolfman out like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They would have been nothing if they hadn't gotten distracted by these two chuckleheads.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
So just funnies really quick. I think I've finally figured out what the deal is with these Big Bang comic strips. They're trying to be as golden age as possible, yeah?
Right, yeah.
Like as it just I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. It's just it's like it goes too far.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan because you're only getting small little chunks months apart. It just I can't get into it.
I agree. It's just too hard to like really. It's just so spaced out. Like I get no momentum. There's no traction.
I kind of don't like Ultiman's costume. It needs underpants badly.
You don't think it's modern to just have that bulge out there?
Just have the bulge out there.
Just have the bulge. Let the bulge rock.
Looks better in a ripped shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like Truth Serum okay. Not his strongest, but it was still okay.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if, I don't know, I'm just a dry person, or not a dry person, but sometimes I don't get the humor in those things. I'm like, am I supposed to find this funny? I don't know. I just don't.
Is it depressing? Then yes, it's hilarious.
I think it was sometimes it was like really like that one where he's like calling her Manchester's newest orphan. Yeah, that's got a nice ring to it. That was funny.
Yeah,
but there are other funnies that I like better than that. But I mean, it was of these two, it's the winner. You win.
Sure.
You win. So all in all, I rate this issue 78 stars. We'll let you judge. But it was good. I would say I'm ready for the next issue. Like the honeymoon is over. Let's get this place.
The next issue that is mostly reprint.
I'm still excited. I'm still down for it. So, you guys want to do some Spawn meat potato?
Let's run into Spawn real quick.
This is Craig's inaugural Spawn, so I think it's worth slicing off a tiny bit of time. Craig, what's your Spawn relationship?
I collected 1 through 12 when they came out originally. I stopped collecting. Yeah, I think I stopped collecting after like the Frank Miller issue that one issue he wrote.
Good Lord, that's about when I quit with Frank Miller? No, I'm thinking of Dave Sim. My bad.
That was like the issue right after Dave Sim, I think, or a couple issues after.
Okay.
And I don't know why. I think I just got out of comics. I was 16 and I think I wanted to save up for a car, and I just kind of stopped collecting.
You chose wisely.
I guess. And then I think I picked up maybe an anniversary issue of Spawn, and then I picked up some of the new direction of Spawn. The white guy took over, whatever is Jim Downing or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, the Wallace Wilsey Portatio issues.
Right.
It was like right around the run where Eric did one issue.
Right, that was issue 200, right?
Eric did 199 or 198, one or the other.
Yeah. So and then I kind of lost interest in that. Spawn isn't my thing, to be honest. I think it's okay. I don't know. I hate to say things because I feel like it's the same thing could be said about Savage Dragon, but there's a lot of issues in it, and I feel like what I have picked up on, I don't know. It doesn't interest me enough to try out other issues, and I feel like that's probably the argument we have with some people with Savage Dragon. But I
don't know. My impression is that, in Savage Dragon, there's a lot that's actually happened that's mattered.
Yeah.
Where going over this Spawn stuff, it feels like there's all this stuff, but nothing has mattered.
Yeah, it feels like there's many reboots within the comics, like different teams, and like what turns me off is when the art just totally changes and it becomes like less superhero, and then it's like just crime noir, like real realistic and gritty, and then it's something else, and then it's like the guy that just drew it right before Eric took over was more of like a Ryan Otley type artist in my mind.
Yeah, that's actually I almost picked it up because the art looked so appealing, but then I went back a little bit further and it got unappealing. I said,
They did a lot for a while. He was doing a lot of that kind of photorealistic type art, which I totally hate, cannot deal with.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just never been like, it just changes every 20 issues, and it just not made me want to like really invest much time in it. So I am buying it because Eric is writing / drawing or helping write it and draw it.
He
co-plotting.
I think it's been said that he's like writing that shit as of this issue. Because people were like, what was up with the like issue not having any writing? And he was like, that's the way Todd wanted it.
So that's such an asshole thing to say. Just because there's no dialogue doesn't mean there's no writing.
Well, I'll tell you what, and you guys might have gone over this, but I hated 258 because it was the perfect issue for people to be like, now you got Eric and Todd together. It's image guys that can't write. It's all about the art. And it was like, don't do that for your first issue together. You know what I mean? Like,
that's an interesting
I just felt
take
like it was
on
the
it.
wrong. I just felt like it was the wrong way to kind of put this out. Like, why fuel that kind of fire? Like, I don't know. Like, I just did
I
not
thought
like
it
that.
did an excellent job of priming me for what Spawn's deal was, or at least as far as what are his abilities. It displayed all of his abilities, and I thought that was a decent way to introduce me to the character going into the actual plot arc.
Yeah, I felt like there could be some dialogue, even if it was a little bit of some. I don't know. I just felt like it just fed that kind of, I don't know, that image hatred.
I think that
Like,
people with that mentality, though, they're not
Are
going
they
to
ever
be
going to
convinced.
buy it in the first place?
Yeah, they're not going to be convinced. They had their
Yeah,
minds
but you
made
know,
up.
you're starting this off. You want to start off with a bang. Why give like the reviewers the people reviewing comics that kind of like, I don't know.
In some ways, the issue is kind of like the opposite of the first Return to Supreme issue, where it was like all like really dense dialogue.
It was Alan Moore's fault, though.
Because Alan Moore scripted it,
Right.
but it didn't feel like the next issue that Eric scripted.
Right.
Well, it's good to know. I just wanted to sort of try and find out like where you were coming from. I'm surprised to hear that you didn't like the 258. So this is going to be like a super interesting like review of 258.
I like the art. Let me put it this way. I like the art. I just thought it kind of came out. It shouldn't have that issue shouldn't have been the first issue to introduce us to this team. I think they should prove their writing chops and that first. Get people to be like, oh, not the here's just art, no substance kind of.
See, and I guess once again I got to say that not having dialogue isn't the same thing as not having writing.
Yeah, but it just seemed like one huge fight scene. I didn't really get what you got out of it. I didn't really understand what his powers were anymore. I remember when I first started collecting it, his powers drained, and they had that little timer, and now he looks like Spawn, and he looks like Venom with a cape. And
well, speaking of Venom,
yeah, I was gonna. We'll touch on that when we get to that.
But see, I didn't need to know that because I've never read any Spawn, so that wasn't presented to me as necessary information. So if there's no timer shown, there must not be a timer.
Right.
So if it's
so what's his powers? He whips his chains around.
He's got chains and he's got lasers and he's got his big stupid boot.
Yeah, I mean, but did I need 22 pages for that? I mean, that could have been told to me in 2 pages.
But there's a difference between like having a caption box saying these are his powers.
Well, I didn't need that, but I didn't
them in action.
I guess what I'm saying is I didn't need 22 pages to show me that. Like,
is this 22 pages?
Or whatever it is.
I think they're 20.
I actually wonder if it's 20 or 22.
I think they're 20.
So anyway, I'm not saying it was a horrible issue. I just didn't feel like a great first issue for me. It didn't make me be like, oh, I want more.
This is good.
See, that was weird because I don't care about Spawn. At the end of that issue, I did want more.
That's cool.
What's funny for me is that I kind of always thought Spawn was cool, but didn't actually like it for the same reasons you said, Craig. Like, I really, from my end, I like consistency, so when, like, stuff shuffles up all the time, I'm not down with that. And that's what's so funny, is that, like, the beginning of this run with these two together, I think Larson even said he would even be willing to go through to 300 as long as things were cool. And I was like, you know what? That got me stoked, because that's like the thing I always missed or like wanted Spawn to have was consistency. So like for me, I'm like, oh man, now this thing that I always kind of thought could be cool is finally getting that thing I always wanted from it. So I don't know.
I would even be happy if Eric just did like he did it on Supreme and just did layouts and somebody else did the actual penciling and inking.
But that's what's happening, right? I mean, he's doing the layouts basically in real.
I think he's doing full inks, and then Todd's coming in to like add a flourish.
Well, he's just doing real open European style kind of inking on these. If you look at his like finished pages, like he leaves a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like if you couldn't just, I mean, it would look like that European style if he just kind of printed those.
McFarlane is bringing a shit ton to these pages for sure.
colorist is doing a lot
FCA.
too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All those green splatters on top of the line art.
But but when you say about consistency of the book, I mean, the book was consistent for a long time in the early period when it was basically Greg Capullo. He was on that book for a shit ton of issues.
I
Right?
always almost read it when he was doing it too, because I love his work.
Yeah. I just, like I said, I was out of comics at that time. When I got back in, I think he was still on it, but it was switching around. Or maybe it was Angel Medina was on it, I think. Anyway, I think we spent a lot of time on this.
No.
Back.
It's good to know. It's good to know. And I actually like the fact that, like, we're not all like, oh yeah, man, Spawn's cool, or oh yeah, Spawn sucks.
Yeah, Spawn's cool.
It's good that we're different. I like that, dude.
I think it's gonna take me a lot to get back into Spawn, but I will enjoy the art. And I did enjoy the art in 258. That spread, and I don't want to talk about it too much because you guys already covered it, but the one with the chains whipping around and stuff, just gold. Yeah. That was incredible.
Yeah.
And the spread in this issue with the giant Satan punch is gold.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
Speaking of Satan, what do you guys think of his design?
I was surprised, considering how everything else in Hell looks.
Yeah, he looks like a vicious circle goon.
He does? Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I thought, his design is very, very 90s.
It looks like the bad guy from Wildcats, doesn't it? or didn't the bad guy, the Hellspawn guy from Wildcats, have a head like that with blue flames?
Now, see, here's what's so funny is the dude that's holding Wanda is not Satan, is it?
I think the first guy we see is Satan, and then I got confused in the middle when Spawn fought Satan, and he didn't look anything the same.
Oh, so that big monster is not Satan?
He keeps shifting, I think, like shape-shifting.
Yeah, that's my guess, too, is that he's either got two forms, or he sent this big guy after him, and it was like a trick to wear him down.
Oh my god, guys, I just had a Fountainhead laser water moment. I did not realize that this Wildcats-looking Satan was the same as Giant Satan.
Oh. Well, I don't... Wait a minute.
You're right, though.
No, they are two different...
No,
they are?
No, dude, they're the same guy.
You're right, because I'm at the end now, and I do see the dialogue switching between them.
Dude, go to the page where, on the bottom of the page, it has Bring Her.
Yeah.
Look at that top panel. There's a panel where you just see Spawn talking to the Satan guy, and he's got like a bone armor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, flip that page and compare. It's like he shifts back into this other image of this guy who's actually got like that weird armor, but it's like set up the same exact way. Do you know what I mean? So the one page you got the bone armor, you flip it, you look down, and the face is like that red face. But then you flip it, and it's back to that other character again.
Yeah, with the firehead.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Wait a
just
minute.
Like his image keeps changing.
I don't know that he is, dude, because like the one Satan guy has green font on all of his word balloons,
and the
other guy has white fonts on all of his balloons.
And if you turn to the page, what is it, 20, where you see you see Spawn take his mask off.
Oh, it was Craig who had the Fountainhead moment.
Oh, god damn it. But come on, like, why aren't they ever shown on the same page? It's so weird.
It is. Is he shifting? Are
they are on the same page. When you look at the picture of where Spawn's getting Wanda to convince, when he takes his mask off and he's getting Wanda to convince him that she is Wanda and not a trick, they're on the same page. Like, the fucking Wildcats dude is on the top with his, like, word balloon being white font.
Right.
And then Satan, the actual Satan, is on the bottom row with his green words.
Are you sure?
I swear.
It's not just him, like, transforming or something?
No.
But Wanda's being held by the fire-headed guy the page before.
No ways, dude. No, he's totally... So Wanda is being held by fire-headed dude, but he's just like... I swear, dude, he's just like...
he's on the side?
He's just like beside Satan or something. He's just like a minion, a flunky.
Yeah, but, alright, so... Tell me this. When he fights that giant Satan dude, right? He's got the green and black letters.
That's what's confusing you, is Giant Satan is in fact changing shape.
So yeah, because then he goes to that other thing where he's like got all this bone armor all of a sudden.
That is
now.
also Satan. He shrinks and gets bone armor on his forearms, and then I see where you're confused because there he is, like there's the minion holding Wanda or whatever. Oh shit! I mean, he could be changing, but why would his word balloons be changing too?
Why is his word balloons changing? Because in one form he's got a fire head, in the other form he's got like two big horns.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
It's very, very strange.
Well, maybe that's a problem. I didn't think it was when I initially read it, but I thought it was like two different dudes.
That's what's weird about it.
And I read it as just him kind of shape-shifting, but
Between forms.
Well, okay. Hey, I can see where that would be a problem after talking to you. For me, I still think as long as you go by like font color and word balloon, that like the guy
Right.
is consistently Satan, although he is shifting forms.
yeah.
So each form is a different word balloon color, but it's still the same guy?
No, I'm saying basically the font and word balloons are how you know it's two different guys. That's how
Right,
I
okay.
read it. Although Satan is shape-shifting, so that's why it's confusing. Because he does shapeshift from a big giant demon to like a smaller dude with bone armor. But
Yeah.
we never get to see Satan like a full panel established shot of him with that bone armor.
Yeah, you are right though, because at the end, so that page where he's wearing the bone armor in the last panel, he's talking to Spawn, Satan's talking to Spawn, then he says, "Bring her," and then the next page, it's got his little lackey with the flame head that brought her, so he wouldn't be telling himself.
So Flamehead isn't
Nope.
Satan. The big guy is
Yep.
Satan. That sucks, because Flame Guy is a lot cooler looking than
Isn't
Satan.
he? That was what I was saying, is look how much more awesome this flunky is than the King of Hell.
Yeah,
And he is very Wildcats, by the way. Which, I don't know. I thought he looked cool.
right. I gotta say, this issue, I do like that Spawn basically looks like old school Spawn, where he's not opening his mouth. I don't think.
With his stupid tongue.
I hate that. It looks too much like Venom.
I don't know if either
I
of you
don't-
know anything about Spawn, but it's not always been a symbiote.
I'm surprised that to see the S-bomb dropped. I don't
Because
I
now
don't
he's
remember that.
just Venom.
Yeah, I don't remember symbiote. They called it. Didn't they call his costume the Hellspawn? Like I don't remember.
I thought
I don't
he was
remember.
the Hellspawn.
But
I always thought the costume was some kind of living type creature.
it
thing,
was.
I thought.
Yeah, it definitely was. That's why the cape could when the cape is attacking people in hell, that was automatic. Like that's the costume actually like helping you fight. So the costume's always been a living thing. I don't remember them calling it a symbiote.
It's just so weird because Spawn. The whole thing was McFarlane left Marvel to make Venom comics, and now he's got the tongue, and they're calling it a symbiote. He's more Venom than ever.
But if you notice in this issue, he doesn't have the tongue at all. So,
Well-
and that tongue didn't come out apparently until the artist before made that
Oh.
change, gave him like the mouth and the tongue. And I think Eric kind of made that transition, but what appears to me is that Eric might not be using that. He might.
Well, that's fair. And when Spawn takes his mask off and you see him, his face, it's got those like tendrils like Venom has. So
Although that is kind of consistent with the past. Like I think the
Okay.
costume like gooping off of him and shit, it's always
Right.
been that way.
okay, I mean that's fine. That's
Because I
fair,
feel like
but-
I forget who it was, like Redeemer or Clown or somebody hit him with some fucking like heaven power or some shit, and
Yeah.
his costume was all like dripping off of him like a liquid.
as long as he's not weak to sound.
If you looked at the artist too before Eric, he could kind of pull off that mouth thing on Spawn because it didn't look so venomish. And then last issue, Eric's mouth, it just looked too venom.
Yeah. Well,
So-
Eric's probably a little bit too close to Spider-Man villains.
Right. So let me ask you another question: does his chain just morph into a sword when he wants it to? Is that how it works?
Spawn's thing, the thing to know about him is that he can kind of use his like costume to make shit, and I think that's always been the way it was. Because think about it, didn't
Because he extends the length of the chains at will.
Yeah, the chains and all that, and the cape also shrinks and grows. So I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that he can just like summon that sword as needed. Just like he can make
Gotcha.
his.
Just poops it out.
Well, remember the movie? I mean, that's kind of how it looked in the movie, you know.
I never saw that
Are
movie.
you shitting me?
You never
I
saw
don't
the
like
Spawn
Spawn.
movie?
I don't like Spawn.
It doesn't
Why
matter.
would I watch the Spawn?
It was one
I don't know, because it was like the only comic book movie at the
Exactly.
The only Spawn movie reference I know is Wanda!
time.
He never saw the finest John Leguizamo acting.
Wait, Spawn was John Leguizamo?
Clown?
No, the clown.
Oh. Speaking of which, I kind of thought he was mentioned that the clown was part of like this arc. I'm surprised he wasn't in this
I
issue.
think Clown and some other dude helped Spawn show up through a hell portal, and
Right.
then it doesn't really matter because they're not going to go into hell anyway. Like
Okay.
Al Simmons is on this suicide mission. Like, there's no reason why Al Simmons should be able to kick Satan's ass. So,
Isn't there?
I mean, he's got this super suit. I gathered from this issue that like his outfit is special, and what's funny is Eric put up the cover for the a black and white cover for let's just dredge this up here real quick. Spawn 268 or no 263, and Spawn's in his classic costume without the big angel boot.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
So it's entirely possible that Al Simmons fucking loses his suit at the end of this arc. And it says in the issue the devil wants the suit. So that might be why there's no power counter. I mean, you remember Craig, me and Jim last
What cover is that?
issue, the cover to
263.
Me and Jim were talking about Spawn, and just like you were talking about the counter, like, you know, Spawn's suit didn't used to have unlimited power like this, so I'm not reading, but I mean, I gather that this suit is way the fuck more powerful than his old suit ever was. I mean, like, even the devil is afraid of this new Spawn costume he's in, so...
Where'd you see that cover? I can't find it.
Dragon.
Just look up Spawn 2. Oh, is it on Dragon?
Yeah, go to dragonfan.net and just scroll down until you see Dragon or Malcolm punching Tantrum, and then it's in that same post.
That's okay. That cover's funny.
You like it.
That's like the framing of that cover is just like classic Larson. It's like
Powerless.
yeah.
Isn't it?
I do like how he's got his old car. I hate that big giant boot thing.
But
I'm glad he got rid of it.
What's different about the costume? It doesn't look any different.
He's got 2 normal feet instead of that giant spiky
yes,
boot.
he doesn't have the boot.
He's got just like spiky armbands instead of like a giant
Knife gauntlet.
claw type thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very much the vintage Spawn. It's the old school.
Yeah, which is really cool.
So you never.
I like that.
Like I said, you never know. I mean, at the end of this arc, he could end up losing his super suit and end up like with a counter in his comic again.
That will be interesting to keep an eye on. Maybe he's just an ordinary man. He just doesn't have any powers.
Nah, this suit though.
I doubt.
Talking about making swords and all that shit is like, you know, like I said, I haven't been reading Spawn, but like obviously this costume that he's in currently lets him do like all kinds of fucking banana stuff that he couldn't do previously.
Can I just say I'm super stoked to see this issue 263 cover inked by McFarlane. It's just gonna bring back all like early Spawn memories.
Wait, I thought he inked all the covers.
He does, but right the thing online that's posted, or 263 that's on Dragon Fan, is just by Eric. It doesn't have.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have.
very...
unless that's the way it's gonna be, and there's not gonna.
Oh,
be
you're saying that you want to see it with McFarlane's ink.
Yeah, maybe he's not gonna ink over it because it already is inked, but usually he touches things up.
He'll add all the missing elements like the boot and the armband.
Oh no!
All the things
He'll
were
just add all the little scratchy lines
and the venom
stuff.
mouth. Just a big sword in each hand. Like, now he's got 2 swords.
He doesn't have the pointy fingernails either.
Nah, like I said, very classic. That's super classic Spawn.
Yeah. So anyway,
I thought this was a pretty good issue.
I was down with it as well.
it's okay. I'm still not completely sold.
I think it was a good little superhero jaunt. Didn't have too much stupidity to it, which is always good. Looks good. It's got that perfect middle ground between Larson and McFarlane, because I don't really like McFarlane, pure McFarlane.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like the extra detail he adds.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Do we know what the general consensus is of these couple issues from the outside world?
I'm out of the loop.
Find out. I'll find out.
I'm not really sure like what people feel like, if Spawn fans are excited or not excited. I mean, as far as like anything you see on Eric's like, page or whatever, people generally are pretty stoked. And the last issue, even though you hated it, Craig, it seemed to go over exactly like as intended. Like everybody was more or less just fucking pumped to see all that ass kicking.
Sure. And again, I didn't hate it. I just didn't think it was a good starting off issue.
It was funny because, like, I love FCO. I think he's one of the best colorists in the biz. Somebody commented on Dragon Fan that they didn't like the coloring, and I was like, oh, the coloring was awesome.
Yeah, he used to kill it on Invincible consistently.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I was so sad when he left Invincible. I was like, oh. So it's kick-ass to see, like, his colors and, like, McFarlane's embellishments, and it's good, man. It's good. I was down.
Yeah.
That bastion of journalistic integrity, IGN gave 251 a 3 out of 5 star and 250 2 out of 5 stars.
You mean 258 and 259?
251 oh sorry, these are the wrong issues. I'm sorry.
I actually gave
Useless.
him a 1 out of 5.
All right. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. Yeah, nobody's got reviews for this. No one cares.
Good job, everybody. Way to go.
There's a user review on Comic Vine that only says "'Tis but a barren wasteland."
Jesus.
What's this guy reading? It's not.
Oh, you know what? That's not somebody. That's just there's no review, so that's the default message.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, who is this? 'Twas nothing like Moby Dick.
All right. There's a YouTube video. I don't have time to watch.
I think the most important thing is that.
All right, I'm looking on Goodreads. Sorry, not to cut you off.
No.
Spawn 258 in the comments section. Gentleman by the name of Dave Pearl. I don't know, man. I was expecting more. Maybe I'm always expecting too much when Todd McFarlane's name is labeled on a product. I found the most enjoyable part of this comic book, the ads. I found the ads enjoyable. How sad is that? This particular issue was almost all fight scenes and no dialogue. It was as if Image Comics was milking this for all it is worth, I guess he's trying to say.
Yes, because Image Comics dictates the contents.
Wow.
Craig, are you writing under a pseudonym?
Again, I didn't think it was that bad.
Did you like the ads better?
Although someone gave it 5 stars on Comic Reviews by Walt.
Good job, Walt.
Hey, you know what? There's no Savage Dragon ads in the back. What a gem.
Yeah, I do think there should be more crossover.
Eric's doing him a favor, and he's getting nothing for his work.
Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't get 5 stars. That's just you able to vote on it.
What do you think of Spawn? Fuck. What numbers are these? 259 and 258. Write, comment, and subscribe.
Well, I will say that I read on the forum that we got somebody into it with our enthusiasm and that they liked it.
Well, that's
glad I wasn't in on that episode because I would have ruined it.
Well, so I'm just saying, here's the thing. I know this sounds funny to say about a comic that's on issue 258, but if you really want, you can treat this like a clean slate.
Yeah,
issue
yeah.
2.
That is a good point. I mean, it definitely feels like a great starting off point.
Honestly,
You know,
as I read this, I mean, I know that we're joking.
as you read it or just look at the pictures.
No, yeah, like it's like really doesn't matter. Like what has happened in the past doesn't matter. It's a fresh character. It might as well not have any baggage at all. I don't know what the hell was going on before I started reading, and I really don't care. He's in hell to get Wanda back. Boom. That's all you need to know.
Good. So shall we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up with a little glimpse into the future as I try to find my solicitation. Here we go. Savage Dragon 211. Malcolm Dragon fulfills his destiny and joins the Chicago police force. Eric Larson brings it. I love that that's what the copy actually says.
Like he wrote it himself.
He wrote it, right? That's
I love it. I love it. That's the kind of enthusiasm you need.
Yes.
And Spawn number 260. The legendary Todd McFarlane and Eric Larson join forces for a historic and show-stopping collaboration of titanic proportions in an epic display of creative talent on Spawn, The Satan Saga Wars Part 2, with guest covers by Todd McFarlane, Michael Adams, Kyle Strom, and, of course, Eric Larson. I thought I'd bring a little class to this affair.
Did you read that solicitation and immediately think of that voice?
I read it and I'm thinking that Eric wrote it. It sounds like something Eric would write.
It's good. Satan Saga Wars so far has been good to me. I've been
A historic and show-stopping collaboration of titanic proportions and an epic display of creative talent. It's gold.
Seems a lot of back padding in both of these solicitations. Horn tooting.
You need to.
You gotta, dude.
You need
gotta
to.
sell your wares.
Got a showman. Gotta be a show. Gotta put it
Yeah,
out
I mean
there.
the thing is like what like in the world of any kind of advertising, are you going to go for the humble like endorsement? Like,
We try real hard.
Spawn number 260. You know, I mean, it's the best we could do.
Todd and Eric, it's okay.
There's going to be some, chains and swords.
There'll be some decent action.
Malcolm Dragon, he's a cop like his dad was. You like that, right? It reminds you of the past. The past is cool, right?
Eric Larson brings it, doesn't he?
Exactly.
We sure hope so.
Eric Larson, it could be said he brings it if you feel so inclined. Or
Eric.
or he doesn't, whatever.
He brought it before. I mean, he could do it again. I don't know.
Eric Larson brings it a majority of the time.
Eric Larson brings it. At least, that's what he intends to do. You read it, you make the decision. We don't want to oversell it.
We don't want to put words in your mouth.
You don't ever want.
We feel good.
You don't ever want to read copy like
Your mileage may
that. You don't
vary.
ever want to read copy like that.
We just lost all of our listeners.
I know.
It's okay, though.
Savage FINcast. You might like it. Savage FINcast. We're
You know
sorry.
We may talk about Eric Larson. We may not.
In this
knows?
FINcast, we got possibly more excited about Basket Case 3 than anything. Star Wars, we were divided. Nirvana, we couldn't make a cohesive decision. But Basket Case 3...
And then at some point, we just couldn't even make any cohesive sentences.
Well, damn it. You know what? I'm just saying.
Savage FINcast. Oops, all berries.
Well, at any rate, thanks everyone for listening.
I guess. Thanks.
I guess. I mean, you can listen or you can't. I mean, we're all going to die.
But we'll bring it as best
The
we can.
universe will freeze. I mean,
Just join us here next time,
fleeting
if you can.
Peace out.
Or don't. I mean, you could do whatever.
This is just going to keep going.
You don't
You can
judge.
keep listening. It's going to keep going, though.